Hey there, Collectionears. I'm so glad to see you for this video today. If it's your first time visiting, hi, my name is Beth and this is the Collectionears Club channel where we have a lot of fun Disney style. So if you enjoy Disney content, I'd love for you to subscribe and stick around to have more Disney fun here on the channel with us. And if you're a returning subscriber, you know I love seeing you back for these videos, talking with you down in the comments, so thank you so much for clicking on this video today. I really do appreciate it. Today I've got a really fun tag created by my wonderful friend Rawan over at the Disney Damsels. I don't think that it's any surprise to anybody that Rawan and I both enjoy Jim Shore figurines. And so Rawan was telling me that she was coming up with a Jim Shore tag. And of course I wanted to participate in any way I could. So she already had almost all the questions, but she allowed me to toss a couple in there, and I was happy about that, kind of contributed a little bit. So we are kind of doing this jointly, but I would say Rawan did 95% and I did 5%. So let's get on in the questions and talk about some Jim Shore today. Question number one is, when was the first time you ever saw a Jim Shore figurine and what drew you to it? So I'm going to go way back on this one. I have always been a Hallmark ornament collector. So at least during the holiday season, I was frequently in Hallmark stores. And so I think through that association, I was aware of Jim Shore because, you know, you can't go in a Hallmark store without checking everything out that they've got. And I saw these beautifully detailed, intricate figurines, and they really caught my eye. His folk art kind of style really appeals to me. So going back to it, in 2005-ish, I was in a Hallmark store and I was looking at the Hallmark ornaments. And so when I was in there, I noticed this beautiful Mickey and Minnie for Christmas. They had the pie eyes in their design, and I remember making the connection, Jim Shore is now doing Disney. That was the first time that it hit me, like, oh, I love his work, but this takes it to a whole new level, if you get my drift. Number two is, how many figurines do you have in your collection? So I'm gonna have to take a guess on this one simply because my Jim Shore Disney figures for Halloween and Christmas are packed away. So I'm gonna guess maybe I have 5 to like 8 for each of those holidays. So adding the Halloween and Christmas and my regular ones, I'm gonna guess about 25 to 30. Question number 3 is, what was the first Jim Shore figurine that you ever purchased? I believe the first one that I purchased myself was the Disney Dasher, and it's a reindeer that stands in front of a sleigh that holds Mickey and Pluto, called Laughing All the Way, and they were released together for the holiday season. I want to say 2005, 2006-ish, that time frame. And so I purchased the reindeer, and since I have my Christmas Jim Shores packed away, I'm going to make sure to link up above and down below. I did a holiday home tour for this past Christmas. You could check that out, and I show all of the ones that I had out for the holiday season. Number 4, is there a specific movie that your Jim Shore collection is mostly made up of? And if so, what is that movie? And I'm going to say Sleeping Beauty, which should come as no surprise to any of you guys if you've been around the channel at all. And the other thing that I would say is, it's not a movie, but I have kind of a spooky side collection going just in my regular collection, not Halloween. So those are kind of the two that I've got, I guess, the most of. Number 5, are there any specific collections or series that you're in the middle of collecting? And if so, which ones are they, and which ones do you have, and which ones do you still have to purchase to complete the set? And right now I'm in the middle of the White Woodland series. They are made up of different princesses. Well, I guess movie scenes now, because Jim Shore just came out with a couple of new ones that he's designed, and Alice is another one that he's going to add to this collection. So I guess it's not just princesses, but I'm really excited about it. The thing that I love about these, they are mostly white with pops of color, and it makes it easy for me to put it here in the living room. So Jim Shore has released two more to this set already, and that is Jasmine and Cinderella. So I still need to get both of those. And he just announced that he's got two new designs that are going to come out later on this year. And I'm excited that he's continuing on with the series because I love it. So the two new ones that he just released are Rapunzel and Alice. And those two are going to come out, like I said, later on in the year. Number 6 is, do you collect any holiday Jim Shore figurines? And if so, which ones do you collect and which one is your absolute favorite? So I absolutely do holidays. Like I said earlier, most of them are Halloween and Christmas, but especially with my new background that I have and I'm able to decorate that, I find myself wanting at least one for every month to change it up in my background and to kind of celebrate the seasons. So I've started to get some of those for, you know, other times of the year besides just Halloween and Christmas. Number 7, what is a Jim Shore Grail figurine for you? And to me, when I say Grail, I mean the only way that I'm going to get a hold of one is if I win the lottery. And, you know, I can hope for that. But it's just kind of daydreaming of, okay, if you just get a windfall of money and you have nothing else to do with it, which ones would you purchase because they're just crazy expensive on the secondary market? I remember seeing this back in the Hallmark store. I don't know how long ago it was, but now it's on eBay for, you know, about $250. It was the Aurora from his Carved by Heart series, which is kind of like you have a tree stump, it looks like, and he kind of carves it out as what it's meant to be. And it's Aurora as Briar Rose, and she's dancing with her pretend prince. So all the animals are stacked up in their princely form, and they're dancing. And I wished I would have gotten it, but I didn't. And so here we are, and it's $200, and so maybe someday I'll get that one. Number 8, how do you display your Jim Shore figurines, and do you change them out often? And it's different for all of them. The white Woodland, I kind of disperse throughout the bookshelves behind me in our living room. My Aurora or Sleeping Beauty is always in my office. And the spooky ones are always in my office with my Haunted Mansion collection. The more holiday focused ones are going to be going in my background where I'm going to be filming my videos from pretty much here on out. But I can only fit a few of them, so especially Halloween and Christmas, when I have a lot, they're just kind of dispersed throughout the house. And of course I'm planning on doing holiday tours, the first one being Halloween time, so stay tuned for that if you want to check those out. I think that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to sharing my holiday decor with you guys, starting with Halloween, so I hope you'll join me for that. Number 9, out of your entire Jim Shore collection, which is your absolute favorite and why? And you know, this may not sound like the truth, but I really don't have a favorite one. I love all of them equally. I just have a hard time picking one. I'll highlight the organ player a little bit for you. And the only reason that I mention him is because number 1, he glows in the dark. And number 2, the skulls above him on the pipes, and I will insert a little rotation here for you to see what I'm talking about. It has the most unique light element I've ever seen in a Jim Shore. It's really cool. The different colors, the way that they kind of, you know, haphazardly light up. It's just very, very unique. So that's why I'll make mention of that one. Number 10 is, which Jim Shore of yours holds the most sentimental value to you? And I kind of started talking about this set a little bit earlier, but I'll finish up with the story. So back 2005-ish, around then, when I bought my very first Jim Shore Disney Dasher, that reindeer that I was talking about, I purchased the reindeer personally because I couldn't see spending that much money for both pieces. And the sleigh was really big. And I'm sure that it was expensive. I don't recall how much it cost, but I couldn't see spending that much on both pieces, so I opted for the smaller piece. And I thought, well, at least I could put this reindeer out with some of my other collectibles for Christmas, and it could blend in, but it's got a little bit of Disney. And so I was telling my mom about that, and the fact that I did not get the sleigh that went with the reindeer. And she purchased it for me. You know where I'm going with this. My mom is just a sweetheart, and she gave that to me for Christmas, and it was just a lovely surprise. I didn't expect her to do it. I was just kind of telling her what my logic was in getting this reindeer rather than the sleigh, and she completed my set for me. So that's always going to have a huge sentimental piece of my heart there, and I think about her every time I put it out for Christmas. Number 11, are there any rare pieces in your collection? And I don't really think so. I don't know for sure, but I don't really think so. I will say that this piece over here, the Sleeping Beauty with the book, I was looking up different pieces on eBay, and I was surprised to see that that was going for like $200 on eBay. So if we're talking rare as far as ones that have been retired and are kind of pricey on the secondary market, I guess that one would definitely fit that bill. Number 12 is, what is your most expensive Jim Shore figurine? And I think I'm going to go back to the sleigh, Laughing All the Way, that my mom purchased for me. I'm sure that that was probably the priciest, because it's just the biggest one that I own. So don't really know the price of it when it was retailing, but I'm sure that that one is the priciest one that I have. Number 13, how often do you purchase Jim Shore figurines? It's funny because from like 2005 to, gosh, more recently, maybe in the last 3 years or so, I didn't buy hardly any. I do receive them for gifts, and during that time, I think I may have purchased one for myself, but mostly it was birthdays or Christmas or Mother's Day. I would get Jim Shore figurines for those intermittently. But here lately, I've wanted to kind of up my game a little bit, especially since I have a background to decorate. So, like I said, I'm kind of, adding to those holiday collections a little bit. So, maybe once a month at the most. So, not that often. And I really don't have that big of a collection. I was kind of surprised, even myself. I'm just kind of slowly growing it. So, that's all right. And I like checking them out and finding out which pieces fit for every month of the year, so that's a lot of fun too. Number 14 is, what is next on your Disney Jim Shore figurine list that you want to purchase upcoming? And gosh, where do I start? There's a ton of them that I would like to eventually get. I definitely want to complete the White Woodland collection. Like I said, there's 2 that are already out there that I still need to get, and then 2 more coming later on in the year. Jim Shore actually released one for Zootopia with Judy and Nick, and the crazy thing is I don't have that one yet, and Nick is my all-time favorite character, but that's definitely one that I have on my list. I believe Jim Shore has come out with 3 for the Haunted Mansion, and I've got 2 of the 3, so I would love to get the 3rd, and that's the Hatbox Ghost. He's a little bit creepy, I gotta say. His face glows in the dark, and his head in the hat box glows in the dark, so he's kind of creepy. So that's why he's kind of the last one on the list. But I just want to be a completist with the Haunted Mansion because I just absolutely adore it. And then this is the crazy one on my list. I have wanted to try to paint a Jim Shore figurine. I know most of the time they're perfect just as they are, but if you have seen any of my videos in the past where I've talked about, I only collect Aurora in the blue dress for various reasons, but that's what my collection is. And so any Jim Shore figurine that you see of Aurora where she's in a pink dress, I don't collect those. And I have wanted to collect those, and in the back of my mind I'm thinking, if I paint those dresses blue, they could become part of my collection. Like the cards in Alice in Wonderland, painting the roses red. I'm painting the dresses blue. That's going to be a thing. So there is a personality pose, I think, of Aurora, and they're small and they're about $20. I think I'm going to try painting Aurora's dress blue on that one because it's not that expensive. If heaven forbid I ruin it, I hope I don't. But I want to see what it looks like if I try to paint a dress blue. And then if it goes well, watch out, because any figurine that has her in the pink dress can be mine, because I know I can paint them blue and they'll fit right into my collections. Number 15 is my favorite question and the easiest, and that's, if you could have Jim Shore design a piece for you that does not exist, what would you have him design? Okay, this is, if I could, if I ever meet Jim Shore, I swear, poor man, I'm going to have to tell him about this. So it's, once again, I was talking about earlier, he's got the Carved by Heart series where you just have a stump of wood and it looks like he's carved it out of like a tree stump. Well, and I'll insert a picture of what I'm talking about. There is one that is for Peter Pan, and it's on Hook's ship, and it's kind of got that rounded back, and all the characters are kind of doing their thing from the scene of the movie in the front. Well, okay, wait for it. My favorite film is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, animated film of Disney's. I have to watch it the entire month of October. That's why it gets the crown for my favorite, because no other movie do I have to watch for an entire month out of the year. So I would love for him to do one very similar to that Hook scene, Peter Pan and Hook scene, but have it be the scene where Brom Bones is singing the Headless Horseman, the theme from The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
When the spooks have a midnight jamboree, they break it up with fiendish glee. Ghosts are bad, but the one that's cursed is the Headless Horseman. He's the worst.
Bing Crosby sings it, and I love Bing Crosby. I love spooky Halloween stuff. I love that movie. So make that scene from the Van Tassel's home, and you could have the fireplace in the back of that curved piece, and it could light up as the fire, and you'd have Brom Bones in the front singing the song. If you could make it musical, like even like a music box or a snow globe, which some of them are. Some of Jim Shore's are musical, I know that. But if you could have Bing Crosby singing, sign me up. Oh my gosh. I think I would like camp out to get one of those if that could be possible. But just, you know, have Ichabod sitting there and Katrina, and just have that scene with all the little Halloween decor. Oh, that would be a dream come true. I'd be so happy with that. So first and foremost, I want to thank my wonderful friend Rawan over at the Disney Damsels. She came up with such a wonderful tag that allows us to share our Jim Shores. She's got a wonderful collection, so you definitely want to check her video out if you haven't already. So I'm going to tag one person that I know has a fair number of them, and that's Karen over at Karen's USA Adventures. So Karen, if you could, please share your Jim Shores with us in this tag. I think it'd be a lot of fun to see your answers to these questions. If you're watching this and you have a Jim Shore collection, and if you're on YouTube, that would be wonderful if you did a tag video to put on your channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, I've got the perfect way for you to share your favorites, your choices to some of these questions. I've got a Facebook group called the Collectionears Club, and we share our collections. That's what we do there. So if anybody in the club already, or if you're going to join us over on the Facebook group, everybody is welcome. There's a couple of questions that you need to answer to get in. Super simple, but once you do get in, you could share your collections with us, not just Jim Shore, but all of your Disney collections. We have a lot of fun doing just that. So I really hope that you'll check it out. And even better, now that we have this Jim Shore tag, you could pick out a number of questions or just one, however many you want to do, and share photos of your Jim Shores. We would love to see them along with the rest of your collections regarding Disney. So that is going to wrap it up for my Jim Shore tag. I appreciate you joining me so very much, and I hope that you enjoyed it too. Whatever you're doing today, hope you're having a marvelous time doing it. So until the next video, I'll plan on seeing you then. Until then, you take care. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.